Hi friends, it's Carolyn Zuck here with C6 Stitch, and today is Saturday, August 6th, 2022. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I'm so glad that you are here spending part of your day or evening with me. I can't believe it's already August 6th. The first week of August is over. I went back to work this week. I am lucky. I'm working from home mostly. There'll be a couple days where I need to go in. For the first 2 weeks of August, I think, maybe 3. But anyway, so it's a good way to kind of ease back into it. It has been a hectic week as expected, but it is all good. And it's nice to the students don't come back until near the end of August, and classes don't start again until the very last week of August, so August 29th. So I have a little bit of time. I need to write my syllabus. I will be teaching an internship class for my main job, the main part of my job. I teach an internship class in the fall for students who are minoring in health studies, so they'll be getting health-related internships. And then my side gig on the side outside of my normal work hours, I will be teaching. So I have 1 week left of the summer class that was only a month long. And that's a course I've taught many times before. It's sociology of the family. My background is in sociology. But in the fall, I will be teaching what's called a new prep. It's a course I've never taught before, which means I have to create it from scratch. And that is sociology of war, which sounds a little sad, but it is a dream class of mine to teach. So while it's a new prep, so it'll be a lot of work, I'm actually very much looking forward to that. But yes, we are back to work. So it's good to get back in the swing of things. And we cooled down a little bit after our heat wave. We had about an 8 or 9 day heat wave where every day was mid 90s to lower 100s, which is very hot for us. And then it cooled off this week, so I could sleep with my windows open again, which I love to do because it just gets the fresh air in. And then we're expecting another heat wave starting today. So today is supposed to get up to 93. I think it's going to be at least 100 tomorrow. But it shouldn't be as long as the last heat wave. This one should only last 3 or 4 days, which is better. I'm ready for fall and the cooler temps and the rain, definitely. So you can see we are up in the craft room. That is because my dining room table, it not only sold, I know I told you last week it was being held. I was holding it for somebody. She came and got it on Sunday last week. So my dining room table is gone, which really makes me realize how huge that space is where I had the dining room table. I know you probably don't have a good concept of where that was, since I don't think I've done a house tour, and I'm nowhere near ready to do a house tour for you, but maybe when I put in the wall of cabinets, so where I was sitting before behind me is where I'm going to put in a wall of cabinets and a built-in desk, and that will be my kind of office space, more or less. Some craft stuff, but more or less office space down there. So I might do like before and after pictures, or maybe like do a little bit of vlogging. But that probably won't happen until sometime in January after the new year, I'm expecting. I'm going to start getting bids this fall and just kind of see what's out there. So if anybody local knows of any reputable cabinet makers, let me know. But yeah, so that is where we're at. So it feels really good to have that table sold. The lady who bought it is such a sweetheart, and it was one of those things that it went to the right person. She really liked it. It fit her space really well. So that was a really nice way to kind of, I'm not that I was emotionally attached to the table. I was not. But it was just nice that it went to the right person. All right, let's get into some stats. I watched Jessie Marie. She does stats as well. Every month. I just watched her last night. She's like, I like the stats. You know, Jessie, I like the stats too. So I calculated last month for Cat Alphabet for Tour de France, the amount of time that I spent. Now, I've already talked about how many stitches and all that I made. I spent a total of 32 and a third hours during the month working on cat alphabet. My goal on that one going into this year was 3 hours a month, just kind of one. So my goal for going into this year was one day, one evening's worth of work, 3 hours on cat alphabet. And so in July, I got 32 and a third hours in, which is a great surprise. During the month of July, so I started out the month with 43 whips. I had 3 new starts and 0 finishes. But off that whip list, I took 2 off the whip list that I am dismantling because I need to restart them. So I want to take them off the whip list since I don't know when I'm going to restart them. So I took 2 off, and so I ended the month with just 44 whips. So we're at 44 whips going into August. I stitched for a total of 122 hours during the month, which was great because I had time off work and I was doing that extra Tour de France challenge. So those are my stats from July, I guess. I almost said June. Really so I've gone through all the lovely comments on the craft room tour. Thank you all so much. I'm so glad that you liked. I got a lot of comments about the day bed, which you can see peeking out there. Yeah, I love the day bed. Like I said in that tour, I don't normally like day beds just because I find them really hard to style when they're not being used, and they're quite, you can't really sit on them like you can a couch. And so I find them quite difficult. But this one is super darling and I really love it. So I'm really happy with it. It's all from IKEA. It's the Hems, HEMNES line. I got a lot of questions about that. But everything, the cabinets behind me, the day bed, the desk you're on, those are all from IKEA, the Hems line. The office chairs, I got some comments on the office chairs as well. Those are from Target online. I checked right before this video. They have significantly jumped in price. So just keep watching them. The prices have been fluctuating a lot. I did not pay how much they are going for now. And there's a variety of styles and colors as well. So if you like the chairs, let me know. I can send you the link. But just know that they are vastly overpriced right now. So I would hold off until the prices drop if you can. And just a comment about the cabinets. I know I talked about this in the video, the craft room tour, but that's wallpaper, the floral you see that I put on myself. I think when it comes, it's just plain white, but I just got peel and stick wallpaper from Amazon of a pattern I liked, and that's what this is. So if you have any other questions about anything, let me know. But otherwise, thank you so much for your really sweet comments. It sounds like a lot of you need to organize your craft rooms. And so hopefully that provided some inspiration for you. We had just one question from Cheryl from last week's video who wanted us to discuss, and I'm going to rely on all you wonderful people to help me with this discussion, about the difference, how some weaves of linen, some brands are tighter than others. And so she primarily has to order her fabric online, so you can't always get a good look at it and tell how tight the weave is until you order a piece, and then if it's too tight, it doesn't work out. So she was asking, well, so who has the tightest weave? And so I'm hoping that you all can help us answer this. From my knowledge, I think Picture This Plus has a very tight weave. So if you remember, I've started, I think it was Christmas Advent that I started in December last year, that I started, sorry, my phone is going off. All right, I'm back. I just had to cut that part out with my phone going off. But Picture This Plus, so I started Christmas Advent on a 32 count Picture This Plus. 32 count, I like it. It's kind of my happy place. But Picture This Plus, it's because it's so tight, and it might have something to do with the dyeing process that they use, perhaps. But it's more like a 35, 36 count. And I was trying to do 2/2 because that's normally what I do in 32 count. So it was way too tight. It was very hard for me to see the holes. So Picture This Plus tends to be tighter. That's the one that I know that really stands out to me, that if I'm now, I did order Picture This Plus for Funky Flowers by the Bay Needle Arts, but I knew that it was a tighter wave, so I went down to 28 count, and that's fine for me. I can see that just fine. That's what all the Rosewood Manor Quakers that I'm working on, they're all on 28 count Picture This Plus fabric. 28 count works really well for me in that brand, and so I just learned that the hard way, I guess. And so I do have some Picture This Plus 32 count that I might try with one strand, but as you know, I prefer stitching with two strands, so we'll see. Or I might have to sell it on one of the stash unload pages, because I do have some from my Rogue Stitching Fabric of the Month Club. But if you know of other brands that have tighter versus looser weaves, I really like Color and Cotton, even weaves. I like Be Stitch Me even weaves. They seem to be fine. But let me know your thoughts down below about what brands have tighter or looser weaves, especially for people who have to order their fabric online and they can't go into an LNS and take a close look at it and see what that weave is like. So Cheryl, thank you so much for that question. I think that's a really good question, and I look forward to learning more from each of you about what your experiences have been with different companies. All right, let's get into whips from this week. So the first whip, speaking of Rosewood Manor Quakers, I worked on Winter Quakers, and this was to finish up the July whip go. So I did that before the calendar turned over to August. I started on this big diamond, and a few of you commented on this diamond last week, how that diamond is huge. Who was it that said that I can't remember now who said they started with that diamond. That's where they started, so everything else felt pretty easy in comparison. Well, that's about where I'm at, is at that diamond. And I'm stitching this in the called for Valdani threads, and on the called for Picture This Plus Dwarf 28 count. Here's the overall, what it looks like overall. And so now I am down on page 4 out of 9 on this, although pages 3, 6, and 9 are not full pages. So you can see I did some work on that diamond. It is a lot of work. There's a lot of stitching in that. So that is where we are at, working on that diamond. So that, I think I just had one more day to work on. When you saw it last week, you saw it. I'd already worked on it 3 days, and so I worked on it just one more day. All right. Then it was Sunday, and I pulled out Hearthside Christmas by Erica Michaels. I started this with Jan Hicks at Jan Hicks Creates, and July was also Garan Focus on a Designer month. The designer was Erica Michaels, so this kind of counted for both of those. I worked on this each Sunday. And it says, friends for your fireside, a wreath for your door, more pleasure at Christmas than ever before, contentment and laughter, good times and good cheer, and peace to go with you all through the new year. And I mentioned last week that I don't particularly love stitching on this, but I really like the piece itself. And I still sort of feel that way. I don't know why. I don't know why I don't particularly like stitching on it. But this is on a 32 count Color and Cotton in, I think it's Pearwood. It was one of the fabrics from the Fabric of the Month. And this is where I got to during the month. So overall in the month, I got quite far. I think pretty much everything you see inside this border was done over the month. So this last week, I think I worked up from Then Ever, Contentment, and Good Times, and That Bell. So that's what I got done this past Sunday. And my goal on this now has been met for the year, which was 15 hours, and I did a total of 16 hours. So this is going to go away for the year now because that goal for the year has been met. But this one, I mean, I should really make it a focus to finish it next year because it can get done, right? And there's no reason why it shouldn't. And then the other thing I worked on, so I joined this new group, and it sounds like several of you joined as well, that Melanie from Soulful Stitching started, and it's called Cross Stitch 25/7. And the idea is that you stitch on a piece, any piece, for 25 minutes a day for 7 days a week. So basically every day, or 25 stitches, whatever works for you. So I joined this group. It just started August 1. You can join. It's an open group. I know there are some, I think there's a daily 30 group that is closed, where you do 30 minutes a day. This one is open as far as I know, so you can still join. And so I decided I was going to pull out Winter Friends Welcome and see where I could get to just 25 minutes a day. And this is in addition to my regular 3 hours a day of stitching. So right now it's okay because I'm not commuting into work, but when I start commuting, I usually don't get home till close to 6. So we'll see what happens with that. But I just did a little bit in his scarf here. My goal is to finish this whole piece this year. So I just worked a little bit in his scarf. Those 25 minutes goes really, really fast. And whoops, I hit you. So here's where we are at the scarf. So I'll put in a starting picture so you can see where I was. And then here is where I am after working on it 25 minutes a day since August 1st. So, you make progress. You really do. So that feels really good. I am probably going to switch now to the piece that I did models. I'm going to be model stitching, which I'm not sure that I'm allowed to say anything yet. But I'll talk about that more in a minute. Then I pulled out Autumn Quakers by Rosewood Manor. My goal on this piece is also to finish it this year. And my goal is 12 hours a month until I finish it. And so I pulled this out this week for the first week in August to get my 12 hours in. And I finished up page 6. Yeah, page 6 over here. And we are down on page 7. Where am I on page 7? I think I'm just right in this area. So finishing up this motif and working over here. So just at the very start of page 7, because I did have to finish up page 6 and all that. And I am stitching this on the called for 28 count doubloon by Pictureless Plus. So I'll show you the whole thing and then I'll fold it in. So this is where we are at. I did fix the little wayward motifs over here. I pulled them out and then put them back in line. So hopefully that looks better. Thank you all to those who noticed it and let me know that said, I think you have some motifs that are straying there. So this is one of those, these two motifs I put back in place. So I did this motif, this one, and then we went down here to page 7. And so part of this motif is on the page above it, but a lot of this, I did all of this part, these flowers underneath, and there's still more to do. And then I did this leaf and then started in on this motif. So we are cruising. September, October, November, December. So I have 4 more months to finish it. I think it's doable. I don't know if it's doable just doing 12 hours a month. So at a certain point, I will probably, focus on this piece to get her done. So that's really exciting though, to be on that last bottom line. And even those aren't full pages, like they don't go all the way. They're not as big as the previous pages. Even page 7 and 8, they don't go all the way to the bottom, which is quite nice. So that was Autumn Quakers, and that also counted for the R in my acrostic for this month, which is bird. It counted for the R, so I got that done. Then I did my 1-day rotation of one of my HAEDs, Cardinal Cottage. This is charted by HAED and artwork is by Donna Gelsinger. And we are just bit by bit doing this one. And I'm still up in here where it doesn't look like much. I am stitching this on just an 18 count Aida, 2 strands of thread over 1. And so I worked on this last night. I got 327 stitches in, and I'm currently at 0.76%. And I am going to put a picture in here to show you where I was before. And then here is where I am now. So I did a lot of fill in, as you can see in here. There are a lot of random holes of threads that need to be filled in. So I worked in that area, and then this kind of got pulled down here. I think next time I need to kind of work on filling in some of this area and start, bringing that over a little bit. But that is what I worked on. So 327 stitches. I'm not even at 1% done on this one yet. So yeah, so that's where we are at. I do like working on these HAEDs. I really think that 18 count is kind of my sweet spot. So that is good. And I guess that's everything that I worked on this week. So I feel pretty good about that progress. It's nice to be able to fit in those extra 25 minutes and see your progress and how much progress you can make. Haul. I do have some haul this week to make up for last week when I didn't have any haul. So first up, I am in the Garon Cottage Garden Threads of the Month Club. So they came in, and this month's theme is blue, which is my favorite color. So I'll show them all to you. Aren't they gorgeous? And then I'll show you. And these are Australian threads. So this one is Bonnie Brook. Look at that. So pretty. This one is Blue Wren. Beautiful. This one is Blue Moon. Yeah, it is showing up blue. So in some lights it looks a little more purple or gray, but on camera it is showing up blue, which is good. Oh, turquoise, Bon Voyage. Jan, this is your color. I love this color too. That's super fun. And then this one is Quinn. And look how variegated it is. It's just so variegated. It's really pretty. So I will add those to my stash, and I'm super excited to get those. And then I placed an order with Vicki Clayton Silks. Now, I've never used her silks before, but there are 2 things I'm going to be working on. So one is with the needle and thread, Winter Rose Manor. I just got these from my mailbox. So I'm just going to try to show them to you. I don't know the best way to show them to you. But I'll do a better job of showing them to you when I actually start this, which I think Jan and I are starting Winter Rose Manor in December. I can't remember when, but I wanted to get the silks, so I have those ready to go. And then I got another silk pack for Blackbird Designs 'Tis the Season, because when I was visiting my parents in June, and Mom and I went to the needle workshop in Fort Collins, Colorado, Colorado Stitcher? I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name of it. I just know it's inside the Loopy Ooh knitting shop. We saw a model of 'Tis the Season, and my mom said, I want you to stitch that for me. And I said, okay. She's never asked me to stitch anything for her before, so I'm definitely going to stitch that for her. And I thought Mom needs it done in silks because Mom deserves it in silk, so I got that silk pack. I'm not sure when I'm going to start it, but I would like to start it this year to get it going since it will be a gift for her. Then I placed an order with 123 Stitch, and these are some threads for the piece I'm going to be model stitching. So think fall. Isn't that pretty? So these are just a small handful. And then there's a bunch of Weeks dye works as well. I just can't hold them all. So this is all for the same piece. Whoops. And then I think we changed colors for one of the things. So I have another very small order coming from 123 Stitch. But of course, you can't just order a skein of floss. So with this order, so this is what all came. So these are all the flosses, autumn flosses for the model stitch. And because you can't just order floss and nothing else, I ordered, and this is for the Garon designer focus for this month, for August, is Bent Creek. And I think Sarah from Stitching Stuff is stitching these. I got these winter snapper lands. I just think they're really cute. This is Chalet. This is Sleigh Ride. Zebrink. And the Villa. And I think they're really cute, and I'd like to stitch them all on one piece of fabric. So they are connected. I'm not sure which order yet. But I think they're really cute, and they're small. They're 50 by 50. All of them are 50 by 50. So they're small. They come with these snaps. I probably won't use the snaps. I'm not sure. I mean, you can see the snaps are in here. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be, but I probably won't put the snaps in. I might put other like buttons or something in. But I did get the series of 4 for the Winter Snapper Land. So that's fun. And then I forgot to show this last week. Well, I didn't forget, I guess. I checked my mailbox right after I finished filming last week, and this was in there. And so this is Stitchy Kindness from Linda. She sent a lovely little note. And she had reached out to me and said, I have this piece. It's all kitted up. Would you like it? And this is not normally something I would stitch, but I really think this is darling. It's Lizzie Kate Liberty Sam. And look, it comes with some buttons and your flag and some baker's twine in there. And then she also sent the Whisper Floss. She sent the DMC, which is super pretty, including this is, this isn't Etoile. I know it's not Etoile. It's one of the sparkles of DMC. But I'm not sure which one. Mulan? Maybe? Or does it say that in all of them? Sorry. Anyway, beautiful flosses. Very Americana. I think it's darling. And she sent a piece of 32 count pearl gray Belfast linen to stitch it on. So Linda, thank you so very much. I think it's just a cute little piece. And it'll be fun to have for 4th of July or Memorial Day or anything like that. So thank you so much for your thoughtfulness. I really appreciate that. So that's all my haul for now. I do have another order coming from 123 Stitch with another chart because, again, you can't just order a skein of floss and that's it. Let's do some giveaways. Let me go grab them real quick. I'll be right back and we'll do some giveaways. Right, I am back with our giveaways. So I have a mix here of winter, Christmas, and Halloween. How about that? So first up, this is by Country Cottage Needleworks. Elizabeth sent this to me a long while ago. And it's high time that I gave it away. It's called Christmas Carols by Country Cottage Needleworks. And you can see it just has the names of several Christmas carols, which is super duper cute. So I really like this one. This one is 77 wide by 166 high. And if you would like to stitch this, it's open worldwide. Make sure that you are able to give me your address so I can ship it out to you. And don't say anything about giveaway or winning or anything like that in the comments. But if you would like to say something about Carol. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is our Halloween one. This is a Cricket collection. This is, somebody sent this to me as well to give away. Look at those cute bears that are dressed up in their Halloween costumes. And then I think this is super darling. It says trick or treat, but it's all, you can see that. It's all, look at that ghost. You could do that in like glow in the dark thread if you wanted. Super cute. So this is called Trick or Treat. You get all of the designs. So you get these 3 bears and their costumes and then this one. So it's a variety of sizes. The bears seem to be 58 by 63 stitches. And then Trick or Treat is 257 stitches wide by 24 high. And so if you are interested in this one, say Halloween. Halloween. And this next one is, this is super darling. Somebody sent it to me as well. This is Designs by Lisa. And this is called Cabin Sweet Cabin. And this is what it looks like. I think it's super darling. It's kind of like a little winter piece, but I suppose it doesn't have to be. I was kind of thinking of it as a winter piece, but this is the stitch count is 110 wide by 86 high. Cabin Sweet Cabin. You could leave the words off if you wanted to. I just think it's a really cute little cabin. And if you want to win that one, say something about a cabin. So we have Carol, Halloween, and Cabin for this week's giveaways. All right, plans. We are up to plans. So, plans for this week for the Garan Focus on a Designer. As you know, we are doing Bent Creek. So, I'm going to finish Educated. This was sent to me. I think, Andrea, did you send this to me? A long time ago again. And I am finally stitching it. This is, I started it earlier this year. This is on, I think it's just a 14 count Ada with gold shimmer in it. Ignore this. This is another piece that I had started that I need to frog out. This is White Pumpkins by the Bay. And I don't know. It wasn't showing up very well on the fabric and whatever. So I put the cat in here. So I have the stack of books to finish up, and that's basically it, and a little bit of back stitching. So my goal is to finish it this month, which I think should be doable. I was going to work on it tonight, but I have been invited to a friend's kind of outdoor gathering this evening, so I probably won't get stitching on it tonight, but tomorrow. Well, I only dedicated 2 days to it, so I don't know that I'll be able to finish the whole thing tomorrow. Here's where it's at. So I have several books to do. So it might take me a couple days, but I'll fit it in this month. And then if I get that done, I can start on the Winter Snapperland ones. So that is for the Garan Designer Focus on a Designer for the month. I am likely going to switch my 25/7 piece to be the piece that I'm model stitching now that the majority of my threads are in. So I'm going to work on getting that together and hopefully start on it tomorrow. So I will check with the designer to see if I'm able to show you my progress. So we'll just see. Stay tuned for that. For WIPCO for August, Winter Quakers was also called again, which we just saw. So I'm going to pull that out this week and get my 12 hours in on that for this week. So you'll see that again next week. Keep working on that big diamond, see how far we can get on that. And then I guess the big news is that on Friday, August 12th, we will be starting a stitching shelf SAL. So thank you to all of you who have joined our group. I'll link our group down below. We have a Facebook group for those who are stitching any of the many variations of a stitching shelf. And on August 12th, we will be doing a Zoom call. August 12th is National Cross Stitching Day. International Cross Stitching Day, something like that. And so we are going to start it together on a Zoom call. So I will be busy this week getting ready for that, prepping threads and all that good stuff. But if you would like to join us, please join us over in the Facebook group. There's just a couple easy questions to answer just to make sure you're not a spammer. And then join us on August 12th for our Zoom call to start a stitching shelf. Or if you've already started it, that's perfectly fine too. In the group, some of you have already started it, which is super fun. And then, so I am working at Acorns next Saturday, August 13th. So I will not be filming on Saturday, but I'll film on Sunday instead. And if you are in the area and want to stop in and say hi next Saturday, I would love to see you or meet you. So I hope to see you there. otherwise, I think that's everything for this week. So I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Stay cool for those of you who are in a heat wave. Drink lots of water and make sure that you stay hydrated and stay in the shade as much as you can. I will see you next Sunday. And until then, have a great week. Bye.